So in this week's lab, we're going to be having a look at how we're going to do references on our web page assignments. But before we get into that specifically, I just want to take a minute and recognize the importance of references, some of the problems we're having with plagiarism, and what we might expect at a university level. I know a lot of people who've come out of high school, references weren't maybe important really in high school. If you just reworded things, you got away without having to do any citation. If you just added a link to the website on a works cited page, that was often good enough. But I just want to make sure you're aware that's not good enough at university. If you ever even take a thought from another source, even if you don't quote it directly, you're still expected to cite it. It's going to be very important for you to know how to do your references for if you're ever writing an essay, if you're ever writing reports, even when you're writing computer code. If you're taking HTML examples from other websites and just using them straight up, you're actually expected to cite that. So references are very important here. If you do it improperly, you might just lose marks. At worst case, I've actually had instructors that if students didn't do footnotes properly, they were just told they plagiarized and were given zeros. So you really do need to pay attention to references. It's always a good idea to ask your instructors if they want references and what format they want references in. In CS 100, we're not too fussy about what format you do references in, or if you need to do direct quotations, we don't require those. Generally, what reference style you use for science programs is APA. And if you ever need help with writing or references in general, we have our Student Success Center at the university here. And they have some writing help that you can find here with some online resources and a style sheet here that might be helpful for doing citations. But for this class, I'm going to introduce to you a website called RefWorks. RefWorks can be used to collect a series of citations imported from different sources or written in yourself, and then it will automatically format them for you with italics, anything you need, and it will output it as HTML code, which is something that a lot of other references sites don't do, is HTML code specifically. But before we can get started with any of that, you're going to need to create an account with RefWorks. You'll be eligible for creating an account with RefWorks as a University of Regina student. It's just that you'll need to give them the group code to prove that you're from our university. And that group code can just be found on the introduction tab here. You'll need this code exactly. So we'll copy that before we get started. And then we'll go to the RefWorks homepage. There's a link right here. So there'll be a sign up for new account button down here. You'll paste your code here. Click Find Institution. And once it recognizes that you're from the U of R, you'll be able to fill this in with whatever information you like. We usually just recommend you use your university email so you don't forget what email it is. Login name can be your university login, password can be whatever you like. You'll fill all that in. You also need to fill in this second tab before it'll let you register. It doesn't have to be accurate if you don't want to give this information. This is just for their statistics, it won't affect your account. But if you do want it to be accurate, you're probably going to be a business student, and you're probably going to be an undergraduate if you're in this course. When you have all of that done, you'll be able to click Create Account, and it should take you to a page. That would look something like this.